A YouTube interview with Danhausen, a professional wrestler, really changed my life all for the better. That's right, an interview with a professional wrestler. Scratch that, it wasn't really the professional wrestler, it was the person behind the makeup. Just watching an interview helped me realize I have a light inside of me and I have stuff to share, and it's okay to be who I am. And I hope this isn't really about professional wrestling. Yes, it involves a professional wrestler, but this is more about the power of storytelling, the power of YouTube, the power that we have inside to tell our story and to help others see the light that they have inside of them. I hope this encourages you to not be afraid to tell your story. You have unique experiences, and there's someone that needs to hear what you have to say. And if you were like me, stuck inside your shell because society told you to be a certain way, if that's not who you are, you can't be that. You have to be yourself, and you have a lot to offer. You are okay just the way you are. This is Cheddarboyee. I spread cheese and good vibes to as many people as possible. Today's video is going to be how an interview with Chris Van Vliet and Danhausen really helped spark my channel and change my life for the better. Let's hit the start button. But before I go into the exact parts of the interview that really helped me, I'm going to introduce the two cool guys of the interview. First, the interview conductor, Chris Van Vliet. He has a YouTube channel with over 800,000 subscribers. That is a lot. He still has that small channel mentality though. And he goes across the country and interviews professional wrestlers from all different promotions. He does your big names like your Stone Cold Steve Austins, your John Cena's. He also does the wrestlers that aren't necessarily household names yet, but those wrestlers have just as interesting stories to tell as the big names. And back in January 30th of 2025, at least this is when he posted the video, he did an interview with this wrestler, Danhausen. Danhausen is not your stereotypical wrestler. He's not the big muscle guy. He is fairly skinny, but he has this amazing character where he has this face paint, and he's more of a comedian than he is a professional wrestler, and that's okay. That's great because he's awesome. And he has two catchphrases: very nice, very evil, and you are cursed. And he goes backstage, he curses people, he's extremely funny, he's extremely entertaining. And back in this February of 2026, he debuted at WWE, this event called Elimination Chamber, one of their big events. And that's where I first saw him and got to see what he was about. And I've seen pictures of him before, and with the funny makeup, I'm like, oh, that looks cool, but you really have to see him in action to really enjoy him. And I really liked his stuff. I became a Danhausen. He's my favorite professional wrestler right now. And I was on YouTube, and I probably researching him. I can't remember exactly, but on YouTube, there came an interview with Chris Van Vliet back from January. And I clicked it, not knowing that that would be probably the best decision I ever made in my life. And that is how I saw this interview, this life-changing interview. And the next part I'm going to go about is the exact parts of the interview that really sparked me and really helped me. And now I'm going to go to the part of the interview that really struck me. So this was an out-of-character interview. Danhausen, he didn't have the makeup, he didn't have the funny voice that he does. He was just the real person. Donovan was his real name. And Chris, I'm going to refer to him as Danhausen just out of respect, but I'm referring to the real person here. So Chris asks Danhausen, hey, I saw you years ago. You didn't have the makeup. You were Donovan Danhausen. And here I'm going to do a quick impersonation of Danhausen. He was like, I was Guy with beard and tattoos. And then I'm Kyle now. Right there is what really struck me, because that's me. I'm generic business guy. I don't have much of a personality. I'm kind of dull. And right there just helped me realize that, boring isn't good. Yeah, it doesn't hurt anybody, but you're not helping anybody either. And that part just really struck with me. And I don't even have the beard and tattoos, so I was less than Guy. So that was the first part that really stuck with me. So the second part that hit me, Chris asked Danhausen, yeah, you're so different back then. You didn't have the makeup. And Danhausen responds, yeah, that was me trying to be Asskicker, man. and I'm not. I'm goofy. I like The Simpsons. I like the comics, and boom, right there was the light bulb. That is me. I'm trying to be a tough guy. I'm trying to be something that I'm not. I'm goofy. I like video games. And, Danhausen's okay with being goofy. Then, I can be goofy and maybe make some people laugh or maybe inspire people. I was locking this goofy side of me up. I think it's just society kind of trains us to be that way. Like, nice guys finish last, and, oh, you need to, be professional, and, or if you're like video games, you're a geek, loser, and that's not true. Like, if you like being a badass biker and that's what you like to do and go on bike and motorcycle, that's cool. But if you like to just sit home and play video games, that's just cool. Different tastes. So that was the part. It basically helped me realize that I was locking myself up and I wasn't very happy. I was miserable. And Danhausen showed me, I had the key all the time, and I just had to unlock it and step out. And it's been life-changing. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say I've been a different person ever since. A lot of people noticed it, like, hey, Kyle, you're so much outgoing now, and hey, cool, and I'm making people laugh. And it's just, I feel like it's been life-changing. I started this channel. I would not be sitting here with a cheese head and with you guys if I did not see this interview. So thank you, Chris. Thank you, Danhausen. The next part is going to be what you can learn from these two cool guys. So I always like to pass some cheesy knowledge that you can use. So here's the 3 things you can learn from these cool guys, Chris Van Vliet and Danhausen. Number 1, success takes time. Chris Van Vliet did not get 800,000 subscribers overnight. He did not interview Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was not his first interview. He had to interview people that were not household names. He had to grind. He had to keep improving himself. He had to keep growing. And I'm sure he's still doing that as much as he was when he first started. That's how you grow and that's how you learn. And for Danhausen, it took him a long time. He just became a household name couple months ago. He had to pay his dues. He had to work on the indies, like the lesser circuits. And he just finally got his break. And at that February 28th when he debuted at the WWE. And now he is like I think he's the fastest rising wrestler in the country right now. His shirts are like selling. It took like over a month for me to get this shirt because they were just selling out so fast. He had an awesome moment at WrestleMania. That's like WWE's Super Bowl, where he had a grand entrance, and like that's so awesome. But it took time. It took work. It took figuring stuff out constantly, and you never stop. I'm sure Danhausen and Chris Van Vliet are still doing that stuff to this day. Number 2 is how to handle success. Both handle success very well. Chris Van Vliet, like I say, he still has that small channel spirit. An example is I asked if I could use some pictures of his interview on YouTube. I sent him a message because I don't know all the legal stuff. I know you have to be careful about copyright, and I just asked him like, hey man, is it okay if I use some of these pictures? And here's his response. He said, yeah, of course. And not only that, I look forward to seeing your interview. Like, how cool is that? So he doesn't forget his roots, and he still helps the small people. So thank you, Chris. And with Danhausen, an example is he was on the biggest stage of WrestleMania, right? And he thanked his 2 friends that they did when they shot videos and back before he became big, and he didn't forget his roots. They stay humble. That's how you handle success. So that's something I know I really need to make sure I focus on and stay humble and be like those guys. Number 3 is to be thankful. Chris Van Vliet, at the end of his interviews, he always says, I'm always thankful. And he actually asks a lot of times you ask the wrestlers, what are you thankful for? And that's such a good attitude to have. And, you need to work on it. I need to work on it. Just being thankful. We can always be more thankful. And same thing with Danhausen. Danhausen in that interview talked about, he used to have jobs that weren't so good. And, sometimes it might be tiring putting the faceplate, but he just thinks back to how he had it so much worse and how good he has it now, and he's thankful for where he's at. So those are the 3 takeaways that you can use, that I can use just to get better and to live better lives. So yeah, that's the story of this life-changing interview. Thank you for making it this far. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you had like a similar situation like this. Like, is this normal? Like, I've changed like really quick. Like, I knew once Danhausen said that I was, that I had to be goofy and that's who I am and that's okay. Like, I knew I figured something out. Like, I think people kind of thought I was delusional a little bit, but now they're kind of seeing, that I solved a piece of the puzzle. Did you ever have anything like that? And I want to thank God first and foremost. I believe that he put these two cool guys in front of me to learn. A sincere thank you to Chris Van Vliet, to Danhausen, to helping me just see the key that I had. So thank you so much. Congratulations on your success. I wish you continued growth. And yeah, I hope you found this encouraging. I hope that this will encourage you to share your story. Start a YouTube channel. Do it because you want to, because you love it, and do it because you want to help people. Those are the reasons to start a YouTube channel. YouTube is so rewarding. I've been rewarded so much since starting this YouTube channel, with not money, but just with skills, with friendships, and the skills is the big part. And fun. I've been having the time of my life doing these videos. I enjoy doing them. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the next slice. Stay cheesy.